Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to this post-match press conference for the match between Toluca and Colorado Rapids. Here with us is Coach Robin Fraser.
Yeah, it was interesting game. I thought we started off quite positively. We were able to put them under some pressure. Probably didn't do as well with some of our early possessions as we needed to. But it was more or less an even first half, it felt like. And to give up the goal just before halftime was obviously a bitter pill to swallow because it made the mountain even higher. I thought when we when we went to the 4-3-3, we were able to get some pretty good pressure on them, and for a spell there, it looked like we were going to get ourselves back into the game. We get the goal at 2-1. I know it's still a huge mountain, but at the end of the day, we obviously want to win the game. And then to concede the goals late, we're pushing forward. Still don't think we handled the transition as well as we needed to, and credit to them, they have some very good players. So in the end, it's certainly disappointing to lose the way we did. And like most games, we have moments in the game where it was really positive. But again, those moments need to be longer.
Awesome. Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time.
Sure. Thanks, Brandon.
You know, I guess in the second half, you made the many attacking changes. What were you looking to see from this response-wise after considering the one-goal deficit starting the second half?
Starting the second half?
Yeah.
Before the changes were made?
Yes.
Or after?
Sorry. After. Sorry.
After the changes were made?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, certainly with putting 3 forwards up front, the idea was to try to get more pressure on them early, which we did. We created some turnovers and started to feel like we were gaining some momentum. Did that well for a while, then I felt like we dropped off just a little bit, and Kevin was ever so alert on the one to go and create the penalty kick. But really going to the 4-3-3 was about getting more attacking players on the field, getting wingers on the field. And we've certainly won lots of games here in a 3-4-3 over the years, and we felt like we needed to keep them at bay because they're a talented and good team. So we gave it a go that way to start, feeling like it was going to give us the most protection, but with certainly Andrew and Keegan in good form, we felt like we would get a lot of attacking play wide still out of the 3-4-3. And we did. But it's a lot of work for those guys, and after a while it slowed down a bit, which is when it made sense to go to the 4-3-3.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned yesterday that you wanted to manage some of the things that Toluca does well. You mentioned the transition already, but what were some of the other things, and where did it go wrong tonight? Transition's where it went wrong. Turning the ball over in bad spots and not dealing with it well. In terms of the run of play, certainly for the early part of the game, it was good. I thought our defending was good and solid and set defending. And late in the game, it became more of an issue that we're sending so many numbers forward that we have to be careful and good with the ball. Because if you turn the ball over and you've committed that many people forward, then you're going to be short in the back and you're going to have to deal with transition. And at times, I think we either turned the ball over in situations that were not situations that we should have turned them over in, leaving ourselves exposed. And in those moments, we're short numbers and guys have to play between things, and they're very good in transition. They have a lot of good players who make good decisions on the run.
Coach, as you said, obviously a disappointing loss, but now you have almost 3 weeks until your next match. What's the message to the players as far as finishing out the season and trying to make a push for the playoffs?
Well, we need to continue to work. We need to continue to work. We need to continue to be better and better with the ball, making sure that we don't turn the ball over to lead to transitions. Obviously, that's part of the game, but you want to minimize that. And then the other part of it is to win games throughout the rest of the year, we have to compete and we have to be combative. And I think that between those things, this willingness to compete day in, day out, that's a big part of it. And as I said, some of the things with the ball to make sure that we don't expose ourselves. I feel like we've given up quite a few goals in transition this year. And out of set defending, we've been pretty efficient, but we have to get better in dealing with transition. Not all, but most of the harrowing moments we've had certainly here in the last month or so seem to all be off transition. So we have to continue to get better at that.
Any other questions?
Robin, I saw Moise leave the field clearly frustrated right after full time. And not to single him out specifically, but I guess, when Toluca scored 3 goals in the last 15 minutes, in your mind, is leaving the field in that matter without thanking supporters or really anything like that acceptable, considering the team culture that everybody's tried to set from rookies and veterans alike?
I think to answer that question properly, you'd have to be in his shoes. And I've been in his shoes. And I've been in situations like that. And as a young player, as a young center back, there are a lot of lessons to be learned. And I thought Moise showed some really, really good moments, had some really good moments, and showed some real quality at times. But when you're a defender and you're involved in goals, you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. So, you ask me, is that acceptable? I'm not going to sit here and vilify the kid. He is in the middle of learning lessons, and he is uber talented. And him, just like the rest of the group, will learn from this and will get better from this. But as I said, I think unless you've been in his shoes, it's really hard to explain or to understand the emotions that he's feeling.
Coach Robin Fraser, thank you very much. One last question.
Hey, Coach, we saw Diego Rubio back out there. Just thoughts on his performance tonight and maybe what needs to be fine-tuned, if anything, from what you saw?
Diego is obviously, he hasn't played. I don't know the last time Diego played. And he's battled a lot of injuries, and he's worked his way back into fitness. But as soon as he comes on, you see some of the quality in the layoffs, the quality of dealing with pressure on his back. We miss Diego. He's a very, very experienced player who has a lot to offer. And he's just getting back into it. So he's only going to get better from here. And it seems like he's over some of the ailments that have kept him out. And now it's just a matter of continuing to build his fitness, continuing to build his minutes. But you see moments of quality out of him the second he gets on the field.
Coach Robin Fraser, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for coming. Hola, buenas noches a todos. Gracias por venir a esta conferencia de prensa post partido. Estamos aquí con el director técnico Ignacio Ambríz. Por favor.
Sí, Nacho, Orlando Castellán del Sistema Informativo en Deportes te pregunta que con qué se va o con qué te quedas de lo que viste en el partido de hoy para lo que viene en el siguiente encuentro.
Me quedo con que El equipo salió muy serio desde el principio. Respetando la idea que tenemos de jugar, de salir construidos desde abajo. Creo que hemos hecho un partido serio, un partido que veníamos a ganar y proponiendo y defendiendo el estilo que estamos teniendo. Y después, bueno, creo que tengo que felicitar al equipo de que ha hecho un gran esfuerzo. Por momentos sufrimos un poco, pero al final hemos sacado un buen resultado que nos permite avanzar a la siguiente ronda.
Nacho, te pregunta Karen Peña de ESPN que cuáles serán las fortalezas de Toluca para la siguiente ronda de la Leagues Cup.
Cada partido es complicado. Ahora me toca estudiar bien a Kansas, un equipo que juega bien al fútbol. Nuestra fortaleza pues siempre ha sido la intensidad tras la pérdida del balón, la movilidad, la posición de la pelota, y eso, bueno, partido a partido tendremos que ir mejorando. Necesitamos mejorar en todos los aspectos todavía, pero hoy me voy con un buen sabor de boca, sabiendo que hemos cumplido en esta fase, pero viene un partido complicado contra Kansas.
Sí, Dioney Hernández de Sportanos te pregunta que qué impresiones tienes después de ser uno de los mejores equipos mexicanos en la fase de grupos.
Bueno, que la responsabilidad crece, estamos defendiendo al fútbol mexicano. Creo que también a la institución, al club le venía bien tener este tipo de roce internacional. Y bueno, ahora eso de favorito hay que demostrarlo en la cancha, hoy descansar bien, mañana recuperarnos, después viajar y prepararnos para ese, yo pienso, un muy buen partido que va a ser contra Kansas.
Gerardo Bobadilla de TBC Deportes te pregunta que si se encuentra entre los refuerzos extranjeros objetivos planeados y una primera impresión de tu siguiente rival, el Sporting de Kansas City.
Bueno, del rival ya lo analizaré mañana profundamente, porque no sabemos quién podría ser el rival. Lo vi un poquito contra Guadalajara, que serán unos 20-25 minutos, un equipo que trata bien la pelota, que también sale jugando. Le reitero, va a ser un partido complicado, y de los refuerzos, bueno, pues poco a poco se irán adaptando. Hoy Pedro tuvo posibilidad de jugar como en el partido anterior. Hoy Benavente no tuvo la posibilidad, pero bueno, hoy también estoy tranquilo de que tengo a todos para el partido. Me parece, creo que es el viernes. El viernes es estar bien preparados.
La última pregunta de Ernesto Benítez Carreto de Legacy Sports. ¿Qué debe ajustar el equipo sabiendo que llevan paso perfecto para este torneo en el extranjero, y cómo ajustar las piezas también para llegar completos a la Liga MX?
Bien, siempre saber equilibrar las cargas de trabajo. Hoy tuve que hacer algunos cambios, no sé, todavía tengo que ver bien si para el viernes realizo otros, pero lo más importante es que el equipo vuelva a tomar confianza, vuelva a mostrar el buen fútbol que normalmente lo demuestra donde vamos. Y bueno, ahora tener calma, simplemente prepararnos bien para afrontar el viernes ese partido contra Kansas.
Listo, muchas gracias por su tiempo, profe.